Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Hopefully you've subscribed by now. If not, please do hit the subscribe button and like our videos. So I've been collecting quite a few offcuts, not by choice, but maybe because I'm a little bit of a hoarder. Even recently moving in to our new place, I brought all the offcuts from the previous place and the pile has been piling up. So I decided that I'm gonna finally put those cut-offs to use and make that beanbag. So I headed off to Shamdo and I got this leather-like fabric which was on sale. I got a meter for 50 Rand. So for my sketch, I sketched about 7 meters of fabric just to be on the safe side. My beanbag is 1 meter by 1.5 meters with a height of about 75 centimeters. So I'm gonna cut 2 sides for the top and the bottom, which is what I've measured to be 1 meter by 1.5. So I'm going to cut 2 of these pieces. That's what I'm going to use for the top and the bottom. And then the one side is the one that I will incorporate a zip in. This is obviously the first time I attempt to make a beanbag, so I'm learning as I go. It is just for the pure purpose of reusing or putting the offcuts to use so we can be eco-friendly and not have all of these offcuts land up in the landfills, etc., etc. So I'm gonna put those inside the beanbag rather, so we can actually have it as extra seating instead of have it pile up in the garage. I know my partner has been very icky about having these huge boxes just sitting, attracting dust and all creepy crawlies. So rather I use it as a beanbag that will be extra seating, and I think it'll be something fun to have around. A conversation started that, hey, by the way, you're sitting on something I made. So on the square or rectangle pieces rather, I'm edging off the corners just to smooth it out so it can be a nice oval shape, not necessarily round, but like more of an ovular shape. I'm going to remove all the 4 corners of the beanbag for the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to measure that around so I can have the actual measurement for the middle panel that will go around to close it off. So maybe while you are here, I think maybe I should also express who Majedi is and what we are about and what this page is about. I am initially starting this YouTube channel to give an opportunity to myself as Majedi as well as other upcoming designers, a platform where they can showcase their collections and advertise. I do already have an existing website, so any collections that they would like to showcase, they're more than welcome as well to display them on the website while they are still building their brand. It tends to get very expensive, and the market is already overly saturated to try and stand out. So why not help each other when we can? So basically this channel is to uplift ourselves and not necessarily compete against ourselves, because at the end of the day we are out for a common goal, which is survival. So might as well stick together and try and survive in this tough economy. So that's basically what the channel is about. It's about starting a brand from ground zero with basically nothing, and being very minimalistic and cost effective in how to get it started. So you'll be seeing more content of how I make some items as well, and also to showcase some of our collections, our new upcoming collections, etc., etc. So yeah, that's basically about what this channel will be about. So back to our beanbag. I'm now cutting the side panels. I've measured about 4 meters that will go around, but that's like a rounded off figure. It will always depend on how you want to shape it. When you're making your own beanbag, make sure you just have like a sketch of how you want it to look at first, and then put in the numbers. So I'm going to fold this piece in half and then join the two sides, or rather the 4 ends together to make a connected full panel that will then be attached to the top piece and the bottom piece. So if you're also wondering as to how you will put the offcuts into your beanbag, you'll need to incorporate a zip at the bottom of your beanbag. So obviously when I've cut my top, or rather the bottom, I didn't add any seam allowance. So I am just going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to later add some allowance, as well as like a little flap that will conceal the zip of the beanbag, so it looks a little bit neater, and also protects the zip from scratching or splitting or anything of that sort. So for the bottom panel, that's where you'll add the zip. So you'll fold the bottom panel just to be accurate about the center of it where you'll cut it, and add the zip. I got a meter long zip, and then 2 sliders that will be slid on either side, so I can zip it open from either side, that I'll add on to the beanbag, so it will allow it for you to easily open it from either side, and also help if maybe one zip maybe gets stuck or breaks, then you still have the one other end that you can use for the zip. I should have gotten rather a very thick zip, but since this is like my first time using this attacher, or this how can I call it, like a DIY zip that you have to put together yourself. It was my first time, so just to try it all out, I went with the smaller zip and smaller sliders. But I think next time it's definitely best to get a thicker zip, like at least maybe like the one with those metal like teeth, because this one is like the plastic one. So I think after some time, so you need to be like really careful when you're putting in your offcuts from time to time. So after some time it might wear off. So I would definitely recommend that you rather get like a metal zip, or a zip with like those metal teeth instead of the plastic one. So once that zip situation is sorted, I'm going to split the bottom piece in half. I'll cut it right in the middle, and then we'll head over to the sewing machine to start putting everything together. Alright, so since I didn't add some seam allowance, I'm gonna cut off a small extra piece that I'm gonna use it as a flap and extend the bottom, and not lose some excess fabric when I attach the 2 bottom pieces together with the zip, and then stitch everything together. So now I'm gonna go on and join all my pieces together, right side to right side, and make sure that my zip is sitting nice and snug on the fabric. I'm obviously not going to overlock anything, so I'm making sure that my stitches are nice and tight so they don't split, and it needs to hold very securely. So I am stitching the zip on now. I've already placed in the 2 sliders on the zip, so I'm just maneuvering them up and down so I don't hit them with the machine while I sew. So once your beanbag is done, stitching everything together, you flip it inside out, and then the fun part begins. You can then start filling it up with all your offcuts, every single bit. One thing I must warn you though is that it is going to be heavy. Okay, it is going to be super heavy, because remember, this is like piles and piles of fabric, weight and weight on fabric. So it's not like maybe adding in styrofoam or what is that, those little beans or batting or anything like that. It's fabric, so it will definitely be heavy. My rookie mistake that I made was filling it up in my studio. I should have actually started filling it up in the area that I had planned to place it in, which at this point I didn't really have a set area that I was going to place it in, but eventually I found a spot for it. So make sure when you do start filling it up, place it there already, and then you can start filling it up from your desired location, and you'll be good to go.